TBC. This is your boy Coach Shelton Harrison, and guys, first of all, let me give a shout out to Andrew Senior, man. I tell you what, buddy, this weekend I told you I was pulling all nighters, man. And Andrew, I pulled a lot of all nighters, man. And you know what I'm talking about, man. I gotta thank you, man, because my head is about to explode. Like for real, my head about to explode, man. It's just so much stuff, man. I just, man, like I'm actually just sitting back, man, and just researching and getting all this stuff in, man. But wow. So I definitely got to thank you, man. Definitely thank you for the support. Okay. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and I want to talk about this Daniel Cormier and John Jones situation, okay? This was a fight that definitely I was excited about, and I was kind of just disheartened when I figured out that Daniel Cormier had to pull out of the fight. But here's the thing. Everybody, before even the reports really came out about what happened to Daniel Cormier, people already assumed that, the guy was a coward. And there's some channels that, I mess with. There's some channels that I don't really know much about that they were calling Daniel Cormier a coward. And, I was just listening to their reasoning, because John Jones put a beating on him the first time and he got scared. And so, I have to kind of question some of the rational logic in some people when they make a video. Like, honestly, how is that rational? So Daniel Cormier gets in, okay? He gets in the ring, 5 rounds. He goes 5 rounds with John Jones, okay? John Jones, I think John Jones did dominate the fight, but I don't think John Jones completely, walked through Daniel Cormier. He didn't walk through him. I mean, John Jones had a tough time with Daniel Cormier. Even though John Jones dominated the fight, if you guys can really understand what I'm talking about. John Jones did it, but it wasn't easy for John Jones to completely dominate Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier, I felt like held his own, man. I think that John Jones is on a whole nother level skill-wise than Daniel Cormier is, and that's just the way that is, okay? But Daniel Cormier was no pushover. And that loss been eating at Daniel Cormier for a lot of months. And Daniel Cormier been sitting idle by waiting on John Jones to make his return to the UFC. And John Jones hadn't even got square set back in the UFC, and Daniel Cormier already called him out. He told John Jones to get his together. That's what he told him. He said, get your together because you and I, we got a rematch coming up. This Daniel Cormier. Guys, that don't make logical sense for him to call out John Jones. And then to say, okay, he's afraid, he pulled it out. But I was so happy when the information came out that Daniel Cormier really was injured. I wasn't happy that he got injured, but I was happy that the information that there was a good reason for why he had to pull out of this fight. And the guy does have a serious leg injury. Whether people want to believe that or not, the man has a serious leg injury. He's injured. He can't fight John Jones. But, my thing is, so many people just wanted to see this man, just call him a coward. But there are certain fighters that no matter what they do, if something go down that's shady, that guy's always the coward. You got to wonder. And let's do a history lesson for some people, okay? When Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, I know y'all don't like this and y'all don't want to hear this, but I'm telling you, you might want to cut this part of the video off. But Floyd and Manny, perfect example. Okay, people was blaming Floyd for years why this fight didn't happen. And the truth always seemed to come out because Freddie Roach confirmed that it was Manny Pacquiao's fault the first time. And then more truth came out that it was Manny Pacquiao's fault the second time and the third time. Because Floyd kept trying to push this fight and make this fight. It wasn't on Floyd Mayweather. But everybody was quick to call Floyd Mayweather a coward. I mean, people started calling Deontay Wilder a coward when the fight with Povetkin didn't happen sooner. But the truth came out, and Povetkin's team, they delayed the fight. It was them that pushed this fight back because they knew Povetkin wasn't ready. But everybody was quick to call Deontay Wilder the coward. Now Keith Thurman is a coward. And I honestly do think that there's something wrong with Keith Thurman. I think he's injured. I think he really is injured. I believe that. That's my opinion. I don't think Keith Thurman is afraid of Showtime Sean Porter. I'm sorry, Keith Thurman got more skill set than Sean Porter. I mean, and Keith Thurman already know on tape and on film that it's going to be pretty much, he's going to go in there and dominate Showtime Sean Porter. See, I'm trying to think with some of the logic of people, man. Like, how can people come up with, okay, Daniel Cormier is a coward? How? He went in there, he called out John Jones. Okay, he been calling out John Jones ever since he lost. He been calling out John Jones. And then, all to just book the fight and then pull out of it. Some of you dudes on YouTube, It's just damn. I have to wonder, like, what do some of you guys get? What do you guys get your reasoning from? Where do you get your logic from? It's impossible. Daniel Cormier is not running from John Jones. He's not running from him. The man is hurt. He's hurt. I mean, people, that's just the way that is. We need to stop, man. Because, it's certain fighters. Certain fighters, no matter what you do, you're going to be a coward. You always going to be a coward. And those are the fighters they try to put the coward label on. But ain't nobody say nothing about Povetkin being a coward. Nobody. I mean, and just nobody said it. Or if John Jones would have pulled out of the fight, guess what? People would have been calling John Jones a coward. And y'all know, and y'all remember that fighter, Roberto Garcia, the one on PBC who was supposed to fight Errol Spence, and he pulled out of the fight. He did it twice. Ain't nobody call this dude a coward. Ain't nobody call this dude a coward. Ain't nobody say nothing about this guy pulling out of the fight 2 times. And come to find out, that guy does that, he does that a lot, pull out of fights. Ain't nobody say nothing about that. But we want to get guys like John Jones, we want to get Daniel Cormier, Floyd Mayweather, Keith Thurman. Okay, just pretty much, we just want to get that coward label on these guys. The coward label. When something don't go down or things don't go the way we want it, we assume that these guys are cowards. I don't think, one thing now, I'm not a Keith Thurman fan. I'm slowly becoming a fan of Keith Thurman. I'm not a fan of Keith Thurman, but I can tell you this right now, he's not afraid of Sean Porter. Daniel Cormier is not afraid of John Jones. Do you don't think that Daniel Cormier is going through a mental hell right now? He is, because he know that he is the only man that can stand in there with John Jones. And I'm talking about give John Jones a test that somebody John Jones got to respect. Because you got to look at it. John Jones, all his other opponents, John Jones ain't respect them. The only opponent that I can feel that John Jones actually does truly respect is Daniel Cormier. There's a mutual respect. The rest of them dudes, John Jones ain't thinking about them guys. You put John Jones and a guy with this St. Pierre guy, whoever his name is, guess what? John Jones gonna run through this dude. He gonna run right through him. And he ain't gonna have no respect for him. But I bet you he got a lot of respect for Daniel Cormier. I mean, man, a lot of people ain't really calling out John Jones like that. They're calling him out, but they don't mean it. Nah, man, I can look into a man's eye and tell, man, when this dude is just serious, man, and he wants to fight. Now, let me tell you, Daniel Cormier, he bled that fight. He wanted that fight. He wanted that fight more than life itself. Daniel Cormier wanted to square up and get down with John Jones, and that's just the way that is. That's what it is. But Daniel Cormier hurt his leg, and it's an injury. And y'all people think that injuries don't happen. What happened with Andre Ward, man? Andre Ward got hurt. He a coward. He this, he that. I mean, people, come on, man. Come on. Come on. We got to stop, man, because there's always certain fighters that get that label that they're a coward. But, certain other fighters, they ain't got to do it, okay? Everybody came out talking about Nicholas Walters is a coward. They don't even understand really the whole rationale behind why the fight ain't happening. Yeah, automatically Nicholas Walters is a coward. Now, I did come on here and I admitted and I said that Nicholas Walters needs to come out with a statement, man. He needs to come out and address the fans, his fans, on why, he turned his fight down. Was it because of money? Was it because, what's going on behind the scenes? And I think, man, we as fans, we need to know. People say, well, Nicholas Walters ain't got to tell you nothing, coach. F you. And that's true. Nicholas Walters don't have to tell me, but we the guys, man, we going to pay on pay-per-view. He fight Lomachenko. I ain't streaming that fight. I'm paying for it. That's just how that is. And I think, fighters do owe their fans, man. You may not owe us, hey, well, we ain't fighting this dude. Okay, fine. But you do owe us, man. At least, hey, we pulling out a fight. Okay, why? Because we your fans. We following you every day. We trying to figure out what the heck going on with y'all. And I think that's just how it should be. But you guys tell me what you think about this. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. I'm done.